Hello and welcome to a special edition of Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah. You're watching Diaspora Network Television. Today I'm joined by an old brother. They're not going to show you yet. Don't smile. Don't look at me. They're not going to show you a pretty face yet because I haven't officially introduced you because you know what? I have to go to my jungle. And so today I have a different type of angle. I'm probably going to make people upset by this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So stay tuned for today's jangle. Okay, so in today's jangle, we as a people, right? Black people, African people, we have this tendency that whatever is our own is not good enough. Whatever someone else is doing is better. Let me give you some examples. It started with centuries ago when the colonialists, or whatever they called them, came to Africa. Don't forget that we had our own civilization, but we threw ours away and adopted them. In fact, even in worship, we used to know Nyame. They used to call Nyame and point to the sky, mean God. But they told us, oh no, the way you worship your God is not good. It's paganism. If you want to worship God, the true God is go through a fellow by the name Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian, so if I'm angering some Christians, please forgive me. Stay with me for this argument. So we gave up our civilization and followed theirs. And we've been playing catch up ever since. Do you realize what kind of disadvantage it has given us? Over centuries, we still haven't caught up. Let me give you another thing else that we gave up that's our own. Clothing. Right now, we still have in official circles, the official clothing is theirs, not ours. What else? Women's hair. We used to see beauty in a woman who has braided her hair and everything. Oh, now those don't look good anymore. They have to have these wigs. So a dead person in Brazil, they package their wig and put it on women's hair, and that's what looks beautiful to us. The dark skin is no longer beautiful. So our women are doing what? Bleaching, so that they'll look like white folks, and that's what's beautiful. What else is on? Oh, telenovelas. When we were young, we used to group around TV and watch Osofodazi. It was brilliant. It was made in Ghana. This lady came with Adam's apple. Great. Oh, nobody's interested. But let's go bring some Indians that we don't know. Talk about their love life and everything. And now that's all we see. That's better than our own. What's next? Oh, and finally, football. As for that one, I get angry when I talk about it. Because I remember when in Kumasi Sports Stadium, when we say Kotoko versus Haas, my friend, you can't find any place to put your foot. I remember one day, Akotex, those of you who are old, Akotex, that's Akosombo Textile, they came to Kumasi and gave Kotoko 3-0. I will never forget that game. But that's how we used to see football. Today, nobody knows. In fact, besides Kotoko and Haas, nobody knows dwarfs. All those are gone. But you ask a guy on the street now, what's your favorite team? Oh, Barca. I'm a Chelsea fan. What are we doing to ourselves? What is it about us that what we do is not good enough, but what others are doing is better? In fact, I was on this platform. DNT has a correspondent on the ground. When the coup d'etat broke in Mali, we were the first to get it. I can say that we got it first before CNN, for Al Jazeera and all that. We packaged it, we put it on the news platform, nobody said a word. I watched. Like what, 3 hours later, somebody put CNN, oh, there's a coup in Mali, and everybody, oh, really? And I'm sitting there and say, wow, Okay? So, if we're going to go anywhere, we need to start appreciating what is ours. Today, we're going to talk about football. We're going to dissect African football. But I wanted to take the opportunity to say, for me, do you know how much money we're sending to Europe, to all these places, by just zeroing in on Chelsea versus Man U? But meanwhile, when Kotoko versus Dwarfs, who cares? And any wonder if we're not patronizing that, then we're not able to pay the players. And we're not able to get good TV arrangements for them. And so our football has gone from where it was standing room only in Kumasi Sports Stadium to now you see only a few people watching. And it's not only football, it's a lot of things. Let us start appreciating our own. Now, I have to end with a bright spot. The youth of today, I like them. Why? Because when we were growing up, remember the Cool and the Gang, the Commodores? Nah, these people are not listening to those. They are listening to Shatawale, Sarkodie. They are going local. So I like that. That's a bright spot. Food. We're eating our own food now. No longer are we into Western, sandwich and all. No. We want our mutio fufu. Yeah, so I like that part. And then also language. People are more into the local languages. So there are some bright spots, but for the most part, I think we've given up too much of what belongs to us and adopted what belongs to others. And if we're going to go anywhere as a people, we need to come back to the drawing table and start appreciating what is our own. We should start appreciating ourselves first before we appreciate anybody else. For today, that's Django. We'll be back in a minute to meet my guest.
The Ghana Trade Fair Company, under the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the One District, One Factory Secretariat, welcomes you to the 25th Ghana International Trade Fair, the premier virtual edition, under the theme, Developing New Trade Opportunities through Digital Channels. It will be 1 month of exhibition and enterprise, offering manufacturers, suppliers, consumers, and various service providers the opportunity to network and make sales. This February, over 500 local and international exhibitors, factories featuring companies under 1D1F, Rural Enterprises Program, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and more, all on one virtual platform from the 27th of February to the 28th of March. Get access to a virtual networking lounge, allocation of a virtual booth, and enjoy a unique virtual experience. Visit our website on www.straightfairgh.com to register or call 024-446-9451 or 050-001-5587. Don't miss out.
Hello and welcome back. For those of you that are angered, my apologies, but sometimes I have to go on these tangents because I get so angry. But this is Diaspora Weekly. Now I've gotten what's on my chest, I've gotten it off. Now I want you to meet my brother, lawyer Safo Abebrese. Welcome.
Thank you, bro. Good.
So who is lawyer Safo Abebrese? This guy, I can talk to him anyhow. If you think he's just a big deal, he's not a big deal. He's only the president of COSUA, which is Coalition of Supporters Union of Africa. He's a big boy. The whole of Africa, he's the head. My brother, welcome.
Thank you, bro.
What's the state of football in Ghana and in Africa today?
Wow. State of football in Ghana and in Africa, of course, as you said in your jungle, it is, we've gone way down. I mean, if we look back from where we were, when we were kids, when we grew up and all that, you talked about Haas and Kotoko. We can talk of Orlando Pirates and Kaiser Chiefs. We can talk of, Kano Pillars and Enugu Rangers. In Nigeria, you can talk of, every country. I mean, African football was where it had to be in terms of the local leagues. Okay, maybe we've grown a little bit more internationally in terms of our players, African-natured players. playing high-level roles in, international competition in the UEFA leagues, in the, everywhere. We have our boys that are applying their trade, at global levels and doing very well and lifting up, the African pride. You can talk of all these, top players, to the extent that we even have a situation where an African player who grew to become the best player in Europe and also the best player in the world, in the same year. And that is, His Excellency George Weah, President of Liberia now. You can talk of Abedi Pele, you can talk of, the names are endless.
Right.
So in terms of the international levels, maybe we're doing better than before, because when we did have the Mohamed Polos and Alain Guamens of this world, they were not featuring that prominently in international competitions. So it's, you look at the good part that, in other parts we can say that African football has grown and is doing well in terms of, our players rising to that level in international competitions and making a lot of money as well. And sometimes it dovetails into bringing in the funding to help with the local teams and all that.
I don't get me wrong, from the jungle, if you heard the jungle, there is the tendency that one may get me wrong and say, I am anti-internationalism. I am not. So the fact that our boys get to play over there, it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
In fact, African teams did not start doing well in international soccer. I'm talking about African national teams.
Yes.
Did not start doing well against their counterparts in other countries until our players who played internationally started coming back to play for the national team.
Exactly.
So in that way, it's good.
Yeah, and that was due to the exposure. When they get that exposure and they play against all those top stars internationally, when they come back, they are like, oh, this guy, I dribbled him the other day, I can dribble him again.
Exactly.
Despite the fact that I'm wearing the Ghana national jersey. So they do it, and it takes our national teams very high. But of course, no African team has still made it to the semi-final of the World Cup
very
yet.
Close
Ghana,
in South Africa.
Yes, Ghana has come very
thanks
close.
Thanks to Asamoah.
Whoa, you want to talk about that? Is that something you want to talk about?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to give you a scenario. There was an international basketball team game, and I think it was Congo versus United States.
Okay.
Congo national team versus United States national team.
Okay.
And that was the first year that they had the professional players playing for the United States national team.
Yeah.
So if you were a player in Congo, you were watching Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson on TV and say, wow. And then you found yourself, wait, you're going to play against him, right? And on that day, just when they were about to start playing, one of the Congolese guys had a paper. He went to Magic Johnson to get an autograph. Okay, so now picture this for a minute. You're going to play a game against somebody, and you're asking him for an autograph. I think you've just lost the game even before you started. Okay, so internationalism has helped that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now Congolese players go to United States and play in the NBA. So when they come back, hey, I'm playing with my teammates. So that has helped. But if it's internationalism, shouldn't it be mutual? Shouldn't it be reciprocal? Do we have anybody from UK playing in Kotoko? What needs to take place for me to see a white player from UK playing in a Kotoko jersey in Ghana?
Yeah, but we have a Brazilian striker playing for Kotoko right now.
Right now?
Yeah, now. It's coming through, but guess what? This is why I think that for the first time, we made a very, very good decision. We took a very good decision a week ago when Africa decided that for the first time, we need the right person to be the head of the, CAF.
Okay.
And we got Dr. Patrice Motsepe of South Africa to become the new African Football Confederation president.
Right.
And I think that if you look at his 10-point vision for the transformation of African football,
we'll go there in the next segment.
It's not going to be long before we fight, because he's doing it right there in his Mamelodi Sundowns team.
That's fine.
You know.
So again, the next segment we'll dissect that 10-point.
Okay.
But you come in here as the president of COSUA, which is a continental organization. Yeah. This man, the CAF guy, he's going to have to work with you.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
Supporters Union, they're the other part of. So when you meet with him, what are you going to tell him?
A whole lot. We do have a whole lot of synergies to look at. And I'm glad that during his campaign and all that, the 10-point, vision, the supporters are number one.
Okay.
And that tells me that he does have, what it takes to take Africa to the next point. Because most of the time, and I'll say this bluntly, African teams at international levels, what we've really, really lacked, the individual pedigree in terms of ability and all that, as you said, our players can match any of their players anywhere. But when we go to the World Cup, I mean, the tournament, I mean, the one coming up now is the Olympic Games. Let's say that Japan is now saying, okay, because of COVID, we might do only 50% intake at the stadia. But you have, Egypt or Cote d'Ivoire has qualified. Cote d'Ivoire plays against, let's say, Germany in the stadium. And you have African supporters supporting Cote d'Ivoire is not even 2% of the attendance. So you have about 98%, of the fans made up of German fans.
Why is that the case?
That is the case because Africa, we've not addressed that issue of fan participation, behind our teams at international competitions.
But wait, you said that they're cutting back on supporters because of COVID.
Yeah.
That should also apply to the German supporters.
But so that is what I'm saying. They say we're doing only 50% intake.
That's fine. You can do your 50% intake.
But the 50% capacity, Germany is able to snap up all the seats and pay for the seats. Africa...
It shouldn't be about ability to pay.
And the fans making the trip, like, I mean, if you sit down and say that, okay, Cote d'Ivoire is playing Germany, okay, Olympic Games, you want African fans to be there in the stadium. We have to have sponsorship before we can do that. Because ordinary supporters in the various African countries, they don't have the wherewithal in terms of financial means to be able to travel all the way.
Japan, lodge in a hotel and all that stuff. Yes.
Because, I mean, looking at the Japan tournament, you're looking at something in the region of about $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for the trip and back and the games and all that. Our ordinary, average African fans don't have that wherewithal. Okay. And that is what COSUA, has been doing and pushing to that point, because if we can put up the fans, in the physically in the stadium. We're not talking of the people sitting at home and say, yeah.
Yeah, because that doesn't help the players.
Very good. Okay. We need the people right there in the stadium and supporting and pushing the players. When they score the goal, they know where to turn to celebrate with the fans. And every player will tell you that gives them an added edge.
So you don't think that any of these African teams would have sentimental support from, because if Germany and Italy are rivals, for example, right?
They're against factor.
They're against factor. Then if Germany is playing Cote d'Ivoire, the Italians there are going to support Cote d'Ivoire. Now, you would want the Ivorians themselves to be there. But we know money is a factor. But can they ride on the coattails of the support of the against people?
That is not something that you can even count on.
Right.
It's not yours.
Yes.
You may get it in your stride as you move on. Okay. But we're talking of structured support. We're talking of something that the teams can be sure of. Like right now, as I'm talking to you, COSUA, our plan now, once Japan indicates, as they say at the end of the month, how much support they are allowing from the various countries, our plan now is to find money wherever, sponsor about 1,000 fans from across the continent of Africa.
Okay.
We are in 50 countries.
Okay.
We need Africans to take these things serious
Yeah.
and take them to Japan.
Okay.
People from all the countries of Africa. I know why you're laughing, but let me laugh. Now, if Cote d'Ivoire is playing, against Germany, and you have 1,000 Africans, whether they are from DR Congo or wherever, everybody is wearing Kozua Cote d'Ivoire.
Of course.
Okay, so the white guy doesn't know these guys are not from Ivory Coast. They are from all countries of Africa,
100%.
and we're supporting our continental team.
Okay.
To victory. the same crowd of 1,000. When
We'll
Cote
turn
d'Ivoire
around.
wins, and the next, is Egypt, and there's the turn of Egypt against, let's say, Chile. Okay, we have the same group of African fans.
Supporting.
Donning the Egyptian,
Kozua
Egypt, and supporting Egypt as an African team. You see, at the same time that we are building the African unity sentiment amongst them, we are also making Africa to stand out there, and then get the players to do the best that they can do. And I'm very happy, that Patrice Motsepe in his campaign made this the very first point of his 10-pointer, this thing to do for Africa. That he's now going to, get through to getting African teams, get the required support. In those international competitions.
What you said, brilliant. And the idea behind it, the support, the unity aspect, all brilliant.
Yeah.
But you, my brother, I didn't know you were a magician.
Why?
Okay. Because you're going to need magic
Uh-huh.
to convince a company, whether it's Coca-Cola
Uh-huh.
or MTN, say, hey, give us money. We're just going to give these guys, send them, buy a plane ticket to go support and say cheer and then come back. Have you been able to do that before? And what does it take to get that kind of money?
Let me tell you this. Kozua, we get sponsorship intermittently. Right now, as I'm speaking to you now, we have our sponsors, an Indian company in the USA, called Trading. If you go to our website, you go to, we even have them on our letterheads. And they have been
an
the
Indian
sponsors.
company in USA.
Yeah. My US background, we are able to do a few things.
We can give them a free plug. You can mention their name.
Yeah, that is Cord Trading.
Cord Trading.
Cord Trading LLC
right.
of Las Vegas. And guess what? They are the guys that sponsored us to the Olympic Games in Russia. If I knew it, I would have supplied you with some of the video. But of course, that one was limited because it was only the officials of Kozua. From
this company,
from
do they have business in Africa?
Not yet.
Okay, so I'm looking in the camera, and if you're watching and you're a major company doing business here in Africa, this should be like a slap in your face, where you are not giving the money, but an Indian company that does business in the United States is supporting Africans.
Yeah, that's what is happening. And it is on record. They sponsored us for the Olympic Games, and we were not even we were just wearing the Kozua Cameroon shirts and supporting Cameroon. I was there myself. Some of the leaders from the various countries were there, and they sponsored us. They sponsored 30 officials of Kozua, flights, hotel, everything, for us to be able to negotiate and get the AU partnership agreement. They sponsored all of us to to Ethiopia for the African Union conference and all that. And so, what is African countries also doing? If these people, right now, our headquarters right here in Accra, Moving Peak Hotel, 9th floor, they are the ones paying. Up to today. So these are some of the things.
That's a Cord Trading.
Yeah, Cord Trading LLC.
I would like to really extend a special appreciation to you.
Mr. Durai Swami is the boss. He's a great guy. He believes in Africa as if he's an African. But
very good.
I don't think he's ever set foot in any African country.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a couple of minutes to get to the break. If you get the necessary funding and
Yeah.
you're looking to send 1,000
Yeah.
people, are you going to distribute them evenly from the 55 countries? What's your criteria of selecting the 1,000?
Okay, that is very simple. We have 5 African countries that have qualified. They will be playing. Okay, I've already mentioned 3 for the men's football.
Okay.
The women's football, Zambia has already qualified. Cameroon is going to do a playoff with Chile and qualify. You know,
With Chile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to have 5 teams. Those 5 teams, we plan to sponsor 100 members. You know, like if we take Kozwa Zambia, we want to sponsor about 100 Zambians that belong to Kozwa Zambia. So if you do 100 for the 5, we have 500. The remaining 500 we share across the 50 other countries.
Okay.
The 50 other countries that didn't qualify.
Okay.
You know, and maybe we do
So
10, 10,
that's
10
like
or something.
10 each.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So-
then they team up with those that have qualified, because when you qualify, you get more representation from us.
That's fine.
And as I'm talking to you now, I'm also planning another trip to USA, because court training, guess what? They telling us they're trying to put the funds together for this, for
Okay.
Africa to attend the Olympic
Okay.
Games.
So in every country, you have an executive team.
Yeah.
So
No,
if
we
it's-
are in 50 countries.
50
we haven't
countries.
covered all the 55
Okay.
yet. But
So
we are in
if you
50
come
now.
to Ghana, how large is your executive team in Ghana?
Whoa, Ghana is big. Our executive team is very big.
In Ghana?
Yeah, it's not all the trips that, there are still some executives that haven't been able to go to some of the events.
So
and,
can you sit here on DNT and promise that the 10 people from Ghana, how many from the executive and how many will be from the ordinary?
the 10 people from Ghana, you know what we're going to do? Let me tell you this. We are going to roll out our 21-year mass mobilization project. And that one, we will give a chance to every citizen of Africa. There will just be a draw. If you are lucky and your number is picked, you win and you go and support Africa.
Okay.
We're going to bring it down to the grassroots. And that will start from next year. You know, next year we have the World Cup. Okay. In
Qatar.
Qatar. Okay, and that World Cup in Qatar is part of the, the deals that we have with court trading. Now we're looking at also talking to the Motsepe Foundation as well,
Okay.
because now we have our man now as a head of African football. He does have a foundation that does all the social networking and social intervention, with a lot of funds. We want to see how we can team up, with 2, 3, 4 sponsors and get this done. Because guess what? If we can sponsor, let's say, okay, World Cup 2022 kicks off in Qatar, and Kozwa is able to, we have 5 teams that are representing Africa. Kozwa is able to put 5,000 people in the stadium. Okay, maybe Ghana will qualify. Ghana is playing.
Ghana better qualify.
So if Ghana, we won the under 20 African Cup. So and we are in good. But you guess what? That is tricky, because for the World Cup, now it's either Ghana or South Africa. We cannot get both of them to qualify. So Ghana and South Africa, one of them will have to eat the other up for one to go.
Well, bye-bye, South Africa. We love you, Mr. Motsepe. And this is a perfect lead into the break. We love you, Mr. Motsepe. But when it comes to World Cup, we love your money, but Ghana is going. This is Diaspora Weekly. Please stay tuned. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized, feel different. Always think specialized.
feel different, think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome back. This is Diaspora Weekly, the football edition of Diaspora Weekly. I'm joined in the studio by Mr. Oh, shall I say attorney? Oh, in Ghana, they say lawyer, right? Lawyer Safo Abebrese, president of COSUA, Coalition of Supporters Union of Africa. Very good. Now, Mr. Motsepe, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about him. I did not know about him until now.
Wow.
Yes.
Are you the only stranger in Bethlehem? Okay. Yeah, Patrice he's a wonderful, man. He's also a lawyer. He went into business very early, gold mining and marketing. He's a director in Sanlam Company and all that, and he's the founder of the Motsepe Foundation. But of course, a lot of people didn't know about him until he actually branched into football. And let me tell you, in Ghanaian parlance, what he did. It's like somebody emerges. Okay, I'll use my own uncle as an example. Uncle Sam Jonah. Okay, came up, gold business and all that. He took Ashanti Gold football team and brought it to a pedestal that was matching Haas and Kotoko boot for boot in this country. Okay, and that's the same thing Motsepe did. Just that Motsepe, he actually bought a team from the lower ranks. Okay, Mamelodi Sundowns, and turned it over. Because in South Africa for years, if you talk about football, just like here, when you talk of Haas of Folk and Asante Kotoko, like in Egypt, you talk about, I know.
Just a quick interjection. I know some fans out there are going to be angry with me, but I'll say this. Whenever you're saying those two teams, say Kotoko first. So Kotoko versus Haas. If you say Haas versus Kotoko, I'll be very angry with you.
Haas came first. Haas was born before Kotoko.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about history. I say Kotoko versus Haas.
1911, 1935.
Oh.
So, okay. So, Asante Kotoko
versus
and Accra House of Folk.
There you go. There you go.
So,
now,
Kaiser Chiefs and Orlando Pirates in South Africa. Okay. Now, this man comes up and says, okay, let me pick a team from the second division. Let me see what I can do by way of investment into a team. And now Kaiser Chiefs is the champion in South Africa, and they are beating both Orlando Pirates and Kaiser Chiefs. His team, Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
Okay, and they've even won the African Cup.
You know what? That tells me, when the example that you gave with Mr. Sam Jonah and what he did with
Ashanti
Goldfields, and then what Mr. Motsepe has done with his team.
Yeah.
It just is simple. If you put money in the team,
exactly,
it will
do well.
Okay?
It will do well.
And we were talking about African football earlier. Where is the money to put in? If you don't have a rich guy to take a team and say, here, how do you fund a team when everybody is watching Chelsea and Real Madrid?
Well, there has to be an effort in that regard. We cannot just look at it helplessly and say that, hey, he himself is Uncle Sam Jonah. He's my uncle. He's an Arsenal fan. Okay, but he decides to put his money in Ghanaian football. Okay, even though he would never fail to watch an Arsenal game. Sometimes we watch, we get disappointed. I would tell you, but I'm also an Arsenal fan. And when Arsenal is beaten, we get sad. But at the end of the day, he sees himself as an African. Patrice Motsepe sees himself as an African. He's not taking his money to go and invest like, Dangote. He's also an Arsenal fan. Okay, but now he says, well, I want to go and buy up Arsenal and make them beat all the top European teams. He can also start by buying Kano Pillars. Okay? And bringing it up to that level.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we need these Pan-African leaders in terms of, to put their money where their heart lies, because when you bring it up from your own ranks, Okay, you are still going to be. It's all that we lack is the funding.
Okay.
Once that comes, the talent is there.
The
You
talent
cannot
is
net
there.
the talent.
Yes.
Because Mamelodi Sundowns they are proving it year after year.
Okay.
Okay. And now guess what? Guess what? It's even going to be a better challenge now because from next year, FIFA is now going to put up the Clubs World Cup, as one of the flagship competitions of the world.
Before we go to the 10 points,
yeah,
FIFA, how come we've been stuck at 5 teams at the World Cup for forever? And Europe, small Europe has what, 1 million teams coming to the World Cup? You may have the answer. Why is that?
Well, even the 5 teams we've done well. We started with 2.
Fine.
And we fought. We went to 3.
But
when we hosted in South Africa, we got 6th. Okay.
So why did we come back
it's
to
been
5?
changed now. The next World Cup, Africa has a chance to present 10 teams.
Okay.
For the next, we have 5.
Is it set or
set?
Is it...
9 is set.
Okay.
And then we have a chance to do 1 playoff and add to it to be 10.
So in Qatar, there's going to be 10 African teams.
No. The USA one. When I say that the Qatar one, we are in it already.
This is 2021.
Yeah.
And Qatar is 2022.
Yeah. Okay. Let me correct it.
Okay.
That because when the decision was taken, Qatar was already done.
Okay.
That 5 teams are going.
Okay.
So now the next one, Africa, we are getting 9 representation.
9
sealed.
teams. Sealed.
Yes, sealed. 9 nations. And then we do a playoff to win to add it to be 10. And that we're very satisfied with
Okay,
that.
very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So let's talk about Mr. Motsepe. That's actually very good. I appreciate the fact that, and what went into it, by the way? Whose arm did we have to twist to get from 5 to 10 teams?
You may not like this, but I believe our own Ghanaian patriot, Kwesi Nyantakyi, had quite a good input into that.
Interesting.
To get us, because he was the vice president of African football at the time.
Okay.
And I know a lot of work went into that to get Africa
Do you
to
care
double,
to go into
to double their
specifically?
representation from 5 to 10.
Do you care
So
to
I
go
give
into?
yes. Well, I don't on TV. I wouldn't like to do that, but I give him a lot of kudos. Because we had a Ghanaian chap rising to that level and doing a lot of work.
Okay.
I mean, he took Ghana to 3 World Cups, successive World Cups. I mean, that is a record that is very, very difficult to repeat in any African country or even in some European countries.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's actually good to know. Despite all the negative media, whatever happened and
Well,
everything. You see, that's the thing. When somebody does a good job like that, it's a best kept secret. But now, DNT, if you're watching, we're going to blow this up. That if he had something to do with Africa going from 5 teams to now 10, he needs to be celebrated.
Of course, he did.
Why do you think he will not be celebrated?
Well, I think that right now, many Africans that I come in touch with, in my travels and Kozua work and all that, a lot of people are now, even in Ghana here, a lot of people are now realizing, wait a minute, didn't we overreact to whatever mistake that Nyantakyi made? We're not talking of Nyantakyi here, but since it's come up,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
And it's not because he's my friend, he's my brother. Of course, we were classmates. Me and Nyantakyi became lawyers the same day. We were in the law school the same year and all that. I know him inside out. He knows me inside out. Okay. And he's one of the guys that I'm not afraid to say anywhere that if you talk of Ghanaians that have been blessed, to lift up the name of Ghana high, he is one of them. Kwesi Korte is one. Sam Jonah is one. The list goes on and on and on. But the problem with Ghana is that we tend not to celebrate our heroes, but rather to try whatever means that we can do to bring them down.
But it's noteworthy that you acknowledge that, because I didn't get into the details of what happened with him. But it's noteworthy that you acknowledge that at least some mistakes were made by him. Now, as a people, do we evaluate individuals holistically, whereby, yes, nobody is perfect and people are going to make mistakes, but why do you think we didn't evaluate him holistically but just focused on the negative? Because, look, if he had something to do with Africa going from 5 teams to 10 teams,
Yes.
maybe I'm willing
And
to.
I can tell you that, Kwesi was not just the second most powerful man in CAF. Not just that he was the vice president of CAF. He was the number 6 highest guy in FIFA.
Okay.
He was in the FIFA Executive Council.
Okay.
So with that influence, and don't get me wrong, I believe that Ghana itself, for going to 3 consecutive World Cups, before Kwesi ascended the throne of the GFA, we had never even made it to 1 World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay. But he took us to 3 consecutive World Cups.
Okay.
Okay. And he was doing a lot more, behind the scenes, like this representation that we got at FIFA for us now to have 10 countries, participating in the World Cup.
Okay.
Those are things that you need brains like his to get
But
back.
let me ask you this, though. He was number 2
in Africa and number 6 in the world.
Who was the number 1 at the time?
Ahmad.
Okay, so you telling me that that number 1 guy did not have anything to do with how we went from 5 to 10?
No, both of them.
Okay.
Because it was the president and his vice working to get
Together.
Africa to that level.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right, so we will go on a quick break right now. When we come back, I promised to talk about Mr. Motsepe, and we got sidetracked into something else.
Yeah.
We have to apologize because, Mr. Motsepe, congrats. You've become the number 1 guy in Africa on football, and you have a foundation, and you've walked the talk. We're going to talk about you next. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Diaspora Weekly.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe.
Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized, feel different. Always think specialized.
Special ice, natural mineral water. Feel different, think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hello and welcome back. This is the football edition of Diaspora Weekly. Me, my team, you may be Arsenal. I don't even know who plays where. Arsenal, do they play in Italy or UK? I don't care. Mine is Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And if you're watching this and you want to be my friend, whenever you're mentioning the 2 teams, mention Kotoko first before Haas, or else you and I have a problem.
But I thought the firstborn is the one that we talk about first. That is tradition.
It's tradition.
Yeah, 1935, 1911. Come on.
Okay, so and when you look at Asante, AS, and Accra, AC, that should also come first.
Again, AC
I don't care about all that.
AS.
I want Asante Kotoko first.
and I hope you're not going to venture into the area of who has won what and who is the best amongst them.
That's not an argument.
Okay.
That's not an argument.
Okay.
I know that Kotoko won it first in Kinshasa. That's all that matters.
Okay.
After that, whether they've won 10 or I don't care.
But that's the only one they've won.
That's the most important.
No, they've won twice.
That's the most important to me.
Cup.
That's the most important to me. We were the first to break the ice.
Okay.
And the others followed.
So you are the firstborn in terms of a Ghanaian team winning the African Cup.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's correct. Me, I used to be a commentator, so I always keep my balance between the two.
You can be a commentator.
Yes, but
Mr. Motsepe, Patrice Motsepe. First of all, congratulations for your ascension to the highest office in football in Africa. I'm looking here at your 10 points. The first of which is supporters. Kozua.
Yeah.
Why did he put tell me, what is so important about supporters?
Wow. Without supporters, the game of football is nothing to write home about.
Supporters don't play.
basically.
It's 11 people on the field.
Yes, but you know, when they score the goals, okay, and they run to the stands to acknowledge the cheers of the fans, you know what it does to them? And that is just on the periphery, my brother. What I mean, if we want to talk about the contribution of fans to the game, we will sit here for 10 hours.
Okay.
Because, I mean, on and off the pitch, you know, when people, were you in Ghana when we were playing in the World Cup in South Africa?
Yeah.
Every Ghanaian here was a supporter. Apart from those of us that were there,
yeah,
every African was a Ghanaian.
I know.
Good.
I know.
So that is what it does to.
And we played Uruguay. And we still lost.
Well.
So what are you telling me about supporters?
We hit the crossbar from the penalty spot.
So why didn't the supporters
jump and get the ball inside and then?
I mean, support. Make me a cogent argument.
Okay, this is a cogent argument. Before we could get to that quarter-final stage, where if that ball had entered the net, we were making history, the first African team to reach the semi-final of a World Cup. Okay, before we could even get out of the group stages, who are the fans, who are those that made the noise to prop up the players to win all those matches and to get to...
Fine, I get all that.
When we beat the USA...
But who won the World Cup in South Africa?
You mean in terms of...
Who won the cup?
That was Germany.
Was it Spain or Germany?
No, was it? Yeah, it was Spain.
Spain.
Yeah, we beat
Spain in
Germany.
Africa?
No.
Were the supporters, did they have more
supporters? No, of course. No, I think you're getting it wrong.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that if Ghana didn't have that cogent African support, okay, I do not think we could have reached where we got to.
I understand that, but
okay.
I'm saying
but
the supporters did all of it.
No, we
cannot
say that it is all of it.
Okay.
Okay, but there is a contribution that supporters
all right. So then let me ask you this.
And I'm happy that Patrice has noticed that and said, okay, out of my 10 points, supporters are going to be number one.
Okay.
I'm going to rally African supporters for African teams.
Okay.
And that falls in tandem with Kozue's vision, and we are very happy about that.
Okay. So I know this.
Yeah.
I guess the scientific answer that I was looking for, and maybe you have these statistics.
Okay.
When teams, their records in home games versus record on
away games, you always see they are always far better. They always do far better at home than away.
Now, is it the supporters or maybe the home cooked meal versus hotel meal?
Cooked meal.
If you're sleeping in your own bed, getting up, hugging your wife, or eating your fufu before you go, you want to tell me that doesn't count versus going to eat sandwich at some restaurant before you go play? Doesn't that count?
Well, a whole lot of factors come into that, yeah. But I will still say that supporters also play a very big role in that. But you know, we do have an exception to that rule.
Which is?
You say you're a Kotoko fan. I thought you would know. Haas and Kotoko, each one does better at the home grounds of the other one.
Actually, we're better than them anywhere we play. So let's go to
number
2.
Are you sure? Let me tell you this. Kotoko, the biggest win of Kotoko against Hasselhoff was at Accra Sports Stadium, 3-0. Okay, you have that. Now, the most monumentous record of the exchange between them, Kumasi Sports Stadium, Accra Hasselhoff beat Kotoko with 9 men, 9 against 11.
Oh,
the Kumasi Sports Stadium.
that day there was some kind of excuse.
So if you look at it, I mean, have always done far better in Kumasi than in Accra. In
maybe
the matches
because
between
we're
the two
more
of them.
hospitable.
And Kotoko, yeah. So they
Kumasi
folks are also very hospitable in Accra. When Kotoko come in, they say score us 3-0 because this is Accra. We are hospitable.
Maybe we give them better meals. But
Those
let's go to number 2.
Those are some of the things you can never put a finger on, but they do happen.
Okay, so what's number 2 on Motsepe's list?
Number 2 on Motsepe's list is he talks about youth football.
Youth football.
Yes, and that
Okay.
is great.
All right.
That is great for him to look at, the under 15s,
Mm-hmm.
16s, under 17, under 20,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and all that. That, look, let's develop African football, from the scratch. You know something? Every African boy, and now girl, is a potential Maradona, is a potential Abedi Pele. Okay, because we have the football instincts embedded in us. As we grow up, we go to school, we play. You know how we used to play?
Okay.
Gata to gata.
Oh, yeah, gata
and
to
all
gata.
those things. If we develop very well,
Yeah.
and the vision that he has is this: let's now focus on developing the talents of the young guys.
Okay.
And then get youth football to be very well managed.
Okay.
So
So we're running out of time. So let's go a little faster. Number 3 is alignment.
women's football.
Number 3, alignment of schedules not to disadvantage
Oh,
players
okay.
from club versus country games.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like right now, even now, as soon as he won, okay, FIFA comes in to say, hey, Africa, you know something, this is your African Cup of Nations that you are playing every 2 years. Change it, make it 4 years. Motsepe says, you were the one that helped me with my campaign to become African president. I'm telling you, no. We are not going to change it to make it, once every 4 years. We need to develop. So
Okay.
African Cup of Nations, we're playing every 2 years. You also need to align your schedules as FIFA, as UEFA, to also suit us.
That's it. That's it. Number 4, partnership with big corporations to ensure fair compensation. This is my favorite.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
Yeah,
What you would want to see. Because Motsepe is going to watch this video
Yeah.
and hear you.
No, I want more companies. When companies, in fact, I would love to see when companies write agreement with the countries and everything, companies, part of their corporate social responsibility
Yeah.
should be supporting, because it's embarrassing to have an Indian company that operates in the United States
Yeah.
supporting Kozua
Yeah.
when we have these multinationals making money off of the continent but not supporting it.
taking the money away.
Yeah. So that's
Okay, I get
what's
it.
number 5 is restoration of broadcast rights, which will give players global exposure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 6 is development of women football with equitable compensation.
That is what I was going to come to.
Okay.
Now,
So my question is, in Ghana, if you're a woman and you play football, aren't you going to be insulted?
it used to be so, but I don't think it is. It is. I think that since Ghana made it to the World Cup in the United States, that was 1996 or so.
Okay.
Okay. When Ghana played in the the Women's World Cup,
Okay.
for the first time. Since that time, I think a lot has changed.
Okay.
And a lot are changing also in continental football at the women level. And now, guess what? Africa is going to have, I think, 5 countries representing us at the Women's World Cup. And the Women's World Cup is now going to be another flagship thing for Africa, for Motsepe, for Kozua. Okay, because we're going to make the Women's World Cup one of the fundamental, global sporting events that we will mobilize African fans to go and support Africa.
Okay. Then fostering unity amongst the various federations across the continent.
Yeah, when we talk of the federations, we're talking of Ghana Football Association,
Yeah.
Nigeria Football Association, Togo
I
Football
have a
Association.
question for you on that. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember I was very young, probably 1970, early 70s.
Yeah.
My father went to watch a Kotoko versus a game in Boaké in
Côte
in
d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
I saw him coming home, walking in the rain. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm like, Dad, why are you walking in the rain? And he said, I just thank God that I'm back in Ghana. The way they beat the Ghanaians. Okay. Do we still have that thing?
No, it used to happen. You see, those are some of the things that Kozua has been working on. And I'm proud to say that right now, if you talk of Kozua, Côte d'Ivoire, that we've had instances recently. There was a game, African Cup game between Liberia and Sierra Leone. And you will not believe it, but COSWA Sierra Leone provided buses and things at the border to transport.
Look at that.
You know, yeah, COSWA Liberia funds to come in.
That's beautiful.
That is the unity that we are building. And I think that if we are given much support, we can get this done very well. But talking again about, you know, that same issue of
Federation.
the Federation unity. One key point that, I mean, when we got the chance to sit with Motsepe, we need to address is this. We have a situation where an African nation, specifically I'll talk about Morocco, because for the past 20 years, Morocco has been bidding to host the World Cup. Okay, on African soil. And Morocco is an African country. If you're talking about African unity and Pan-Africanism, those are the things that make Africa grow. Okay, but we have a situation where some federations in Africa will rather go and vote for the European competitor that wants to host.
Why?
Yes. Morocco got, I think, 38 votes from Africa. Where did the other 18 or whatever votes?
Is it because they don't see Moroccans as Africans because of the color of their skin?
It happens on. It's not just because Moroccans. But if they are part of CAF, if they are part of the African Union, why not? They are one of us. The guys that you went to vote for, okay,
they're no different.
Okay. So that unity of federation. Now we believe that for Morocco 2030, because they are bidding to host the World Cup in 2030, we want to see 55 votes from Africa.
Good.
It doesn't make sense for us to have this unity at that level.
Yeah.
You know, and then we spite our own.
Okay. Quick before I go to number 8, the World Cup in the United States. What city is it going to be in? Do you know?
Many cities. Actually, they're even sharing with Canada, so we're going to have a lot of games all over the place.
All right, number 8, development of infrastructure, building and upgrading stadia.
That is very, very important.
All right.
Africa needs to take that seriously. We're still playing.
How many covered stadiums do we have in our continent?
Off the top of my head, I don't think I can put a specific thing about.
Look at that.
But
so if we have an important game and it rains.
Yeah, and again, let's look at it. Because South Africa won the bid to host the World Cup, okay, they were able to build those stadia, okay, to host the World Cup. So if we get more hosting rights, if every 20, 30 years, one African country gets the rights to host the World Cup, host the Olympic Games, you know, it benefits us. Morocco is putting up over 20, you know.
Stadia.
Yeah. And then it comes to the bidding time, and you get some countries deciding that we will not vote for Morocco.
We'll be campaigning. Number 9, clean up elements of corruption and restore good governance to attract sponsorship. This one is self-explanatory.
Straightforward.
I'm not going to put a dime in it unless I know that that dime is not going to end up in somebody's pocket.
Exactly.
Okay. Number 10, positioning Africa internationally to have a voice in structures like FIFA as well as. Yes.
Good. And that one, let me just say that if we do that very well, I believe in the next decade, we're going to have an African as the president of FIFA. And it can very well be Patrice Motsepe himself.
Very good. Enough said. This has been an explosive edition of Diaspora Weekly, the football version. We haven't done it for any particular game, but football, if Mr. Motsepe can get, for me, I'm going to, and you say he's going to watch this.
Definitely. We get it to him right away.
Mr. Motsepe, my personal barometer from you is that by the time you're done, if I meet a young man in Africa, on any street in Africa, and I say, what's your favorite team? And if I hear that an African team, then you have succeeded. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah. This has been the football edition of Diaspora Weekly, and I was joined by my friend lawyer Safwa Bebrese. Thank you for watching. We'll see you some other time.